Righty, you can't escape the big news of the day. Chelsea have sacked Roberto Di Matteo. What are your thoughts?
I'm shocked, to be honest. I'm really shocked, but I'm not shocked by anything that Roman Abramovich does. I think he's a runaway train. You look at Chelsea, the third in the league. Yes, they lost last night against Juventus. It wasn't great watching, I suppose, for Chelsea fans losing 3-0 and that, but they're still third in the league. They're not out of the Champions League yet, and he gets sacked. It's ludicrous. It's laughable, really. You know, but like at Chelsea, what can you say? They've got 10 trophies or something in how many years? I don't know. Gav, you're Chelsea man. You know more than me, but I just find it. I feel for Roberto Di Matteo this morning with what he had to play with last night with the team he had, and fingers have to be pointed to a certain extent at Fernando Torres as well. He's a striker. That's what they needed last night up front. You still have to question the decision to let Lukaku go out on loan when they've only had a recognised striker in Torres. And yes, you could say Daniel Sturridge might play up the centre, but he didn't. I think he was injured last night. But they needed a striker up front who can hold the ball and link the play between Hazard, Oscar and Mata. Not Hazard, Oscar and Mata being the players up front. They were too lightweight. And the first half, yes, they had a couple of chances where they might have nicked something, Gav, but the second half, I think Juventus just dropped back and then almost done what Chelsea were doing, hit them on the break, just put the bodies behind, get the ball, hit them on the break. And because Chelsea were playing in front of Juventus, they couldn't do anything. I don't know what more Roberto Di Matteo could have done, especially with Torres. If he's playing unbelievably, that game's a different game. If Torres is playing good football and he's up there, he's holding it up, working the line, working the centre halves, then all of a sudden you've got those the three kind of like little wizards they've got backing him up. Chelsea, it's a whole different ball game, but didn't work out that way. And you know, Roberto Di Matteo loses his job the next day because, let's face it, the German does what he wants.
Knowing how Chelsea have done things in the past, do you think that decision was made to axe Di Matteo before last night's game with Juventus?
I'd like to think that. I'm not sure about. I don't know how he's made his money in respects of. You'd have thought that you have to be major intelligent to get into a situation where you make a lot of money like that. But some of the decisions he makes me think he's either brash, or he's cavalier, or he's maverick, or whatever it is. Because even the appointment of V.S. Boas, you went, what? He's 33. He's done nothing. He hasn't been over. He doesn't know anything. He's had a little spell in and around Chelsea, but what an appointment that was. You know, everything he's done, it makes you think, well, this really strange decisions. And then, you know, because he's got the monies and he could pay people off, V.S. Boas cost £13 million. Right off, no problem, start again. And because Di Matteo won the Champions League, it almost gave Abramovich no choice. But if Pep Guardiola is ready to go, he'd most probably take him at any stage. And, you know, I think Di Matteo put himself in a great position winning the Champions League. I thought that it was always going to be downhill from there for him, especially when they didn't sign more forwards this season to get going. John Terry's been out, Frank Lampard's at the other end of it now. They started the season brilliantly, and you know, it just seems knee-jerky, or just because I can. Because, you know, why sack him? You know what I mean? Why sack him now? You know what I mean? Wait, if anything, until, yes, okay, you're out of the Champions League. We'd still be saying, well, what are you sacking him now for? It's only 6 months ago he won the Champions League for you. What you've been coveting for years and years. It's just the game's going that way. You know, I suppose that's what happens when you get an owner who's answerable to no, he's accountable to no one. It's almost like God there.
I guess the crazy thing is Di Matteo will probably walk into a job very quickly, having won the Champions League and the FA Cup last season. So it doesn't affect him as gutted as he'll be.
Yeah, but you say that, Gav, but what, you say he'll walk into a job where? There's no jobs, unless abroad or whatever and stuff like that. But where in England can you just walk into another job like that? It doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. You know, it's gonna. You know, there's people in jobs, and you know, it just doesn't work like that. Just because he's won the Champions League, people say, yeah, but he won the Champions League, and he came in halfway through, and you know, I mean, he's quite lucky in this. They'll put all sorts of spins on it. I think he's really, really unlucky. The way he got ousted out of West Brom and then now at Chelsea, I think they've both been unfair in respects of what he could do and what he could have gone on to do. So I feel for him.
With a massive league game against Manchester City coming up on Sunday, What did Chelsea do now? I mean, surely if you lose that game, you're well behind in the title race. It's almost like Abramovich has written off another season.
Well, you have to think that he's got the Champions League now. There's not much more on a club level that they can win. So it's all about, I don't know, trying to maybe get Pep Guardiola in and build the greatest team he could ever build and stuff like that. Who knows, he might be bored. I honestly ain't got a clue, Gav, in respect of what he's going to do. Because like the game against City, which you could see Chelsea losing that game. And you know, if they do lose that game, then it's going to be uproar and everything's going like, oh, what's going on? He's actually literally, how can I say, he turned everything on its head when it doesn't need to be. You know, they're third in the league. They're still doing okay for Chelsea. It's like so much of the season to go. You know, honestly, it's baffling. It's baffling. Like I say, it's a great time to play them, I suppose, with Man City. And you know what I mean? It's not like Man City are unbelievable, but they're playing well enough, but they can beat people because they've got great individuals and they got match winners.
Whoever comes in now, or whoever even is in charge on Sunday, they've got obviously the Torres problem to overcome. They've also got the form of David Luiz. As a manager, would you even want that job at the moment?
Well, it's a job that, you know, like I say, if depending on what way, I don't know, the way, in respects of the monies that you can earn at Chelsea and the payoff, you sign as long a contract as you can sign and you get the payoff. But is Chelsea a job that you really want? You say that, but like his methods have still brought Chelsea 10 trophies. You know, you can knock it as much as you want, but like, there's silverware at Chelsea. They've won the Champions League. They've won everything. League Cup, FA Cup, Champions League. You know, so it's... And they've got a chairman who's got unlimited resources. So if you're a manager, you could come in and you could click and get that right. It's an amazing job to have. But if you can lose, you can come second in the Premiership, lose the Champions League but on penalties, and get the sack from that club. And you know what I mean? So it's one of those where you just got to go and just walk the tightrope.